that being said, I'm going to pass this back over to Liz, who is going to introduce the absolute goddess. Miss Tammy DeMirza, goddess, is in the house. Love you, adore you. And Liz, please bring this woman to the stage.
I am totally honored to introduce you, Dr. Tammy DeMirza.
Mm,
Great to see you again.
you too.
You are a multi-award-winning international speaker who most recently spoke at the UN about awakening conscious leadership for global impact. Your topic today is From Survival to Sovereignty, Why the World is Watching You Rise. Wow, I'm excited. One thing we don't know about you is that you can't resist making the best peach cobbler in the country. I want to get it. I'd like a taste, please. And your music that you love to listen to is Unstoppable by Sia. And your gift for everyone is a 30-minute private intuitive session valued at
No,
$600.
the gift to everybody is a different gift. Just before
Sorry, I got it wrong. The
just
one-on-one,
gonna poke in
that's
there.
our the very special gift is the one-on-one private intuitive session, plus the 17 chapter video book with a quiz to find out your dominant sensory superpower. But to everyone, let me be clear, gets that 17 chapter video book and the quiz to find out your dominant sensory superpower. I'd love to know what that is.
Now, before we go into listening, Tammy, take us away. I'd like to say, if you've not been with us before, how we play this game is going to be how we play this listen to win all day for 2 days. When you hear Liz ask a question at the end of Tammy's presentation, for the answer, you need to put the answer and your email, and you need to put it in the chat. And then Desi will contact people next week on whom won what gift. If you continue to play, because you can win one big gift for each day. And so keep entering and entering and entering, and you will win a prize. So that's how the listen to win. We don't know the question. We're going to listen as well. Okay. Tammy, take it away.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. It's so good to be with all of you, and I appreciated what she shared so much. You're going to hear another view of from surviving to thriving and rising as your sovereign self. I was just working with a client over this yesterday. Women are so responsible. You know what this is like. You're reacting to your world. You know that you have responsibilities. You're pretty much keeping the businesses, the family, the relationships, the food, all this stuff together. But are you in survival mode? Or are you in sovereignty? And so that is what we're going to be talking about today. And I was teaching my client yesterday that a response that she had in the school line of simply asking a woman to pull forward just a little, and the woman being ill with her, I said, you should have broke the continuum and said something back instead of making it convenient. Coping, surviving. So we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to share with you how you can break that trajectory in your life and how you can move and rise as your sovereign self and what that even means. What does it mean to be in survival? We know that very well. But let me tell you just a little bit about my story. My name is Dr. Tammy DeMirza, and I am known globally as the Breakthrough Alchemist. And what I do is I help people by reading their lives, and I get into helping them to own who they are, to know how they function, to tap in, to access, and to trust what we call intuitive intelligence, which is really your intuition that Steve Jobs and Albert Einstein talked about that is in your five senses. Believe it or not, the biggest tools that you have are in your five senses: seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and feeling. That is your intuition. And that is what every single powerful woman and powerful man has used. It's the secret behind their success. Steve Jobs even said that your intuition is far more important than your intelligence. And Albert Einstein said that we have our intuition as the guide, it's the gift. And the rational mind, how you think, is actually the faithful servant. But we've created a society that now worships the rational mind and has forgotten the gift. Well, I want you to know today that you have these sensory superpowers inside of you, and that is your intuition, and that is the best tools that you have on the planet to have clarity, to rise in your sovereignty, to make decisions very quickly, easily, with clarity, and even seeing the future, like some of these geniuses did. And it's not rare. It's not only in people like me that come in this world with supernatural abilities. So let me talk about that for just a second so you'll understand a little bit of the journey, your own journey. So as I talk about mine, I want you to think about your journey and what you are disowning and what you are not stepping into and how you might be worshiping the rational mind, the survival instincts, the let me just cope with the world, let me just do what needs to be done today. Bypass that, surpass that, and rise in your sovereignty, and why you are so important, because the world is watching you. And when you rise, the entire world, and especially women, goes something different about her. I want to know, what did she do? So let me tell you just a couple of things. I woke one morning at 11 years old and I had these supernatural abilities while lying in my bed. And there's an article coming out in USA Today talking about this, where I woke up and I was remotely viewing my entire home. I knew my parents had argued at midnight. I knew what my dad was thinking, making the coffee at the coffee maker. I could see where he was while I'm lying in my bed. I didn't know why I had these supernatural abilities, but I had invited love in my heart the night before, and I was told, old things will become new. You will become a new person. So I'm waking up at 11, not knowing what to do with this. I knew things that happened to kids at school. I knew what people were thinking. I could see things before they happened. I learned how to telepathically communicate at the age of 11. Imagine having this, but not knowing what to do with it. So I hid it. I concealed it. I pulled it in, and I decided to be like Elsa in the movie Frozen and just hide it, conceal it, not feel it. It was too much. What do you do with those abilities? Well, let me tell you where that led me. That led me down a very dark path to homelessness. When you don't trust yourself, when you question, when you pause and you go, wait a minute, am I making the right decision? You're actually in self-abuse. And today, I'm here to help you remember that there is something ancient inside of you that is grappling, it's summoning you, it's pulling you, it's asking you, let it out and embrace it and figure out who you are, and then rise in that sovereignty. So let me just tell you that waking up, deciding that I was going to commit suicide in the bathtub because I couldn't trust myself anymore, because I didn't know how to overcome homelessness. Guys, I would wake up some days and only have 50 cents in my checking account. I didn't even have the money to go get a McDonald's hamburger. But I knew that if I got in alignment, I would manifest money. I would manifest a meal. And that is what I do today. I devote my life to teaching people, how do you step in to the normal natural abilities that every single one of you came in with, and actually use them to overcome anything in this life that you think might identify you. So I had that pivotal moment in my life where, am I just going to kill myself, or what do I do? Well, let me tell you what happened. Divine intervention happened because I decided I've gone as far as I can go. I'm just going to end it. I don't trust myself anymore. I don't know how to overcome this. And within minutes, my best friend wired me money. It was an odd amount. It was $1,300, but that was enough for me to know you can't say goodbye. You've got work to do. And so I decided to stay, but then I started connecting again with my higher self, with spirit, with those abilities, and understanding that if I didn't move back into them, trust them, start accessing them, and using them to create, to manifest, to really, and what you see behind you is a home that I manifested within 6 months without money in my checking account. I learned how to overcome, and I decided that staying was worth it. And I decided that my identity was not the decisions that I had made or the predicaments or the symptoms of what I was going through in life, that I had to bypass what the world was showing me and say, I am more than that. So today, as you're with me, I just want you to think about what decisions have you made in your life that you think identify you, and you are so much more than those. And maybe you're at that pivotal moment where you're realizing, I'm surviving, I'm not thriving. And how do I do that? How do I move into the position of rising and then getting to the place to where now it's crazy? Deborah, I know you're looking at my rings from the Emmys. I'm so happy to be wearing these. It's fun to wear the costume jewelry that you gave me during that time. And then you start magnetizing. There's no pressure. You don't even have to work for it. You meet people, you magnetize, you're in that law of vibration and the law of resonance where you are standing in your owning who you are. You've risen above. Every single one of you have been through betrayals. Every single one of you have been hurt. Every single one of you have been mistreated. Every single one of you have made decisions that you wonder, can I overcome this? And I'm here to tell you that just like I did, you can. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit of a process for you to start rising. And that is to really start looking at your five senses. And this is why the free gift is what it is. There is a 17 chapter video book talking about this. And then there's a quiz for you to figure out which one is your dominant. So let me just talk about one. Let's talk about seeing. If you have the ability to see, and most of you have not had this identified for yourself, so you think, well, I don't think I see things. I don't think I hear things. I don't think that's me. You do have them. You have all five, but you have a dominant one. So if you see things, then the way that you're going to see people is you're going to notice their mouth, the way it moves. You're going to notice their body language. You're going to see things. You're going to see colors. You're going to see people. You're going to see movement on the face of this earth in the physical. Well, guess what? To every single one of these senses, you have a non-physical side too. You will also see what people do not share with you. So imagine being in business and being able to see or foresee that which they're not even telling you so that you can be of service. Imagine knowing what your relationship wants and needs in order to comfort and to even get what you want. Imagine having that innate knowing that is called your intuitive intelligence. And when you tap into that, and the way that you can do it is go to your friends right now and actually ask them, tell me, do I talk mostly about seeing things or hearing things or feeling things? I'm just going to use those three for now. That is your dominant sensory superpower. So to overcome homelessness, I had to tap back in. And guys, because I had walked away from it for 13 years, I was very much like what position you will be in as you start to discover this. I did not trust myself. I thought I was going crazy. When I heard things, I'm like, did I really hear that? You might should say it again. Did I really see that? What is this? I went through the same journey that you will go through because I disowned it for 13 years. But disowning a part of you that is the biggest assets and tools that you have causes you to almost walk around like you're crippled. You're trying to run, but you don't know why you can't run. How many of you, I'd love to see in the chat box, how many of you know that you're destined for more than what you've done already? You have a bigger mission than this. You know that you haven't quite fulfilled it. This might be your missing link. So I want to give you something today that's going to help you with looking at what does it mean to be sovereign? When you're standing in your sovereignty, you actually know who you are, you know how you function, you know what your abilities are, and you actually know how to use them. There is a book for this. I've written it called Superpowers Unleashed. There is all kinds of content, I'm sure, on the internet, but let me know if you're interested in wanting to know more. But for today, let's look at what sovereignty is. Sovereignty is when you are standing in, I know how I function, I know who I am, I know my discernment, I easily make decisions based on clarity, insight, and the foresight to even see the future. Imagine being able to know something is going to happen in a couple of days and I don't need to go that direction. I remember when my daughter was only 15 years old, and I decided that I wanted her to have some kind of self-defense class. And I took her to this police chief, and this detective was teaching the self-defense. And I had been studying this. She's 40 years old now. She was only 15. I had been studying all of this at that time. And I said, tell me something. And all of the crimes that everyone told you about, was there once that they didn't say, I knew not to go. I knew not to go in the hotel room. I knew not to go to my car at that time. I felt something was off. I knew something was wrong. And he paused and he said, you're right. Every single one of them told me that they knew. That is your intuitive intelligence. It protects you, it honors you, it helps you to know what to do so that you can make decisions with precision and then change your mind later if you want to. So today, when I talk about sovereignty, that's when you're standing in that innate knowing. And the more you educate yourself, the more you will trust yourself with this. Whenever you find yourself questioning, then I want you to stop, take a pause, and say, what would my highest self, my sovereign self do right now? That taps you back in. So how would you like to do that with me really quickly right now? So what I want you to do is to take a deep inhale and exhale. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to think about the very first thing that comes up. What are you doing in life right now that you know you're just surviving? You're just coping. You're just taking care of business. And then let me ask you this question. What would your sovereign self say to you right now to do with it? And then you can share this in the chat box or you can write it down for yourself. Your sovereign self speaks to you all the time. It could be through seeing, it could be through hearing, it could be through smelling, it could be through tasting, it could be through feeling. Some of you are feeling this right now. I know that some of your crown chakras are kind of itching because mine is. I'm highly empathic. I use these abilities to help people to catapult their success. Whenever you do this, you stop and pause and just take a deep breath and say, what would my sovereign self do with this? Make a decision and do one thing today about that decision. One of the biggest things that I see with clients is them not making decisions. And that's because they're questioning their intuition. They're questioning their knowledge. It's not statistics or strategies. It's not more information. It's not more intelligence. It's not more intel. And believe me, when I was speaking to all of these dignitaries and leaders in the United Nations, I was telling them, if you really want to create a better future, you're going to lead with your intuitive intelligence, and you will foresee what can happen for people in the future. So I would love to know. I'm going to stay for a few minutes. I'm not quite finished, but I'm going to stay for a few minutes. And if you want to just send me a chat in the box and just let me know, Tammy, I got this information. Is that my intuition? I'll be glad to answer you for a few minutes. But I want to leave you with this. Nothing that you have ever done cannot be overcome. It doesn't matter what decisions or who got you where you are. You are so much greater than what you think or know. And it's time to settle into, I want more. I want to know more. I want to know who I am. I want to know how I function. I want to know what my abilities are. I can use these. And I'm just going to give you one more quick example. There was a lady that I was working with, global IT manager in a man's world, being passed over for 3 years, not getting the raises, not getting the bonuses that are male counterparts. My intuitive abilities and me embracing them, I said to her one day, who's the man that's coming in your office in 3 days? He's 3 levels above your current manager. Go to him and get a meeting. She said, I can't go above my manager's head. Go to Sheila, who handles the calendar. She's like, how do you know her name is Sheila? How do I know anything, Jennifer? I've been doing this with you for a couple of years. Go get an audience. Say this sentence to Sheila. You're going to get 15 minutes, but you're really going to get 30 to 35. She walked out on Friday, 3 days later, with 32 minutes. She got promotions. In 3.5 months, she got 3 promotions and back pay in corporate America for all of the bonuses and the raises at the new promotion rate.
Whoa.
Guys, this is what happens. And
Mm.
you have the same abilities I do. I am not the only one with them. You have them. And what if you could tune in and tap in and use this to succeed? This might be your missing link. And it's so good to be with all of you today. Very powerful women, and happy Women's International Day.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's do some hearts and some loves.